Every week, I look forward to getting a variety of fresh produce from my local farm to include in upcoming meals. But to maximize our produce, I usually follow a routine to help reduce unnecessary food waste. So, I'm going to take you through my process as I dive into my produce box for this week, demonstrating how I store my produce and sharing what I think about when organizing the fridge. Today's video is also in partnership with Lomi by Pila, an at-home appliance that processes food scraps to create nutrient-rich dirt, as well as Lomi-approved bioplastics. We've had our Lomi for a few months now, and it's a great way to help us reduce food waste in our small space. Though I try my best to reduce food waste upstream, there's always a bit of produce waste, bioplastics, and other brown paper bits that need to be properly composted. We don't have a curbside food composting program or a large backyard at the moment, so processing food scraps to be used as fertilizer for our plants or dropping them off into a yard trimmings bin is a great alternative. The Lomi can now be purchased without a wait, so be sure to check the link in the description box below to learn more. A thank you to Pila for continuing to partner to create more content on this channel for more sustainable living. As I typically work weekends for my cookie business, which is when most of the farmers markets happen, getting a produce box has been the most cost-effective and convenient way to support our local farm. We can bring back the boxes for them to reuse, but unfortunately, all the produce is placed in a large plastic bag to make pickup easier for customers. To start, I'll take everything out and see what's in front of me, taking inventory of what we have for the week. First, I always keep a stash of reusable cotton bags in the kitchen to help store my cruciferous vegetables, such as dark leafy greens or broccoli. I have quite a bit of kale, which I'll place into a thick cotton canvas bag, and broccoli, which will go into another. And I'll go ahead and wet both of these bags to keep my greens crisp and fresh in the fridge. Dampening them regularly throughout the week is a great trick to help them from spoiling faster. Now I'm looking for anything else that tends to last longer, such as cabbage, which doesn't need too much extra attention, as well as this giant bunch of celery. Celery does great when submerged in water, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it in two since I don't have a container large enough. Keep as much of it submerged in the water as possible. This trick also works great with carrots, daikon, and radish to keep them crisp. Next are the spring onions, which I treat as regular onions when cooking. However, the greens on top should be used first as they don't last as long as the bulbs. I like to place them in any used clean paper bag so the green tops stay dry. And I'll usually start cooking them straight away that week, trimming off any of the ends that start to feel soft or limp. Along with the onions, I'll also store potatoes. No special packing is needed here either, as they're perfectly fine and will store great as is, whether in the fridge or even outside the fridge in a cool, dark area. Last of the bunch are the fruits and fresher vegetables, which often spoil faster. First is zucchini, which I don't usually pack in any special way, but keep in clear view in the refrigerator, so remember to eat it first. Second are some shishito peppers and snap peas, which I like to keep in open bowls or containers, also in plain sight in the fridge. Last is just some loose leaf spinach, which I'll go ahead and keep in the same bag, though spinach also keeps well in a moistened cotton bag or towel if you are able to get it without plastic. and oranges, which I'll keep separate from the vegetables, as fruit releases ethylene gas, which quickens ripening of produce. With everything organized, it's time to stock the fridge. It's pretty empty right now, but I'll take out any uneaten produce and keep those items out closer to the front and in sight. I'm just starting by placing whatever items will fit towards the top of the fridge, such as the celery in the jar, as well as the shishito peppers, snap peas, and zucchini, which are in clear view. This will serve as a reminder for me to grab those produce items first during the week, or to keep an eye out for any potential spoilage. Next is a drawer I use for aromatics. I usually have a small bowl of ginger and garlic, as well as onion bulbs to keep things together, so I'll just place the rest of the spring onions in here by the side. Below is the crisper bin, where I'll place all the greens. I'll take my old produce out first, and place newer items in, the ones that usually last longest in the back. In this case, the fresh kale, broccoli, and cabbage. The old produce bag and fresh spinach will stay closer to the top and the front to help me gravitate towards those items first. And finally are the oranges. They'll just go into the bottom bin away from the vegetables, along with other fruits if we do happen to get more through the week. So that's how I've packed my produce and fridge for an upcoming week ahead. We're looking forward to eating all the fresh produce of the season, and I always find it funny how excited we get from seeing a fully stocked fridge full of greens, fruits, and more. It is really the simple things in life. I hope you found my grocery storage routine somewhat helpful too, as I find that doing this helps me to logically get through the fridge week to week, cooking veggies more methodically as a means to prevent food spoilage. It does take a bit of mental effort, but find out a method that works for you, and hopefully you'll also be able to implement one or a few tips that you'll find are very helpful for your own kitchen. With that, feel free to share any of your own food storage tricks below or questions as well. Thanks all for watching my grocery and storage routine, and hope you all have a wonderful start to your week.